What's up, guys? It's your boy, the Piscine Predator. I'm back with that TPP True Crime Talk, baby. Let's go, let's go. Smash that like if you haven't already. Smash that subscribe. And if you're feeling generous, hit that share and put it out there. Let's go. All right, let's jump in the topic. The topic is that minister murder trial, right? I didn't do a day by day on this one. I was going to. I did the first day, but the consecutive last couple days has been... Dude, it's been boring, uneventful. The story and the foundation laid, like, it literally wouldn't have been entertaining. I would have bored you guys with it. But we're going to do a recap day 2, 3, 4 here. And, yeah, I'll kind of paint the picture for you guys. Okay, so basically, prosecution story is, the defendant did it. That, he had some issues, and then something made him snap. And he killed his pastor, who was over at his father's house, doing some painting. And the way that morning went down is, the father, who basically, was out, ways out, working, right? Had the pastor coming over, doing work on his house, painting the house, because he's about to get married, and he's trying to get the whole setting put together. And his son, the defendant, is living there. So the father of the defendant, he calls, he tries to get a hold of the guy, the pastor that's supposed to be working, can't, calls his daughter to inquire about, hey, have you heard from, your brother or the pastor? And nah, so she, inquires and tries to call the pastor, and then tries to call her brother, and tries to get a hold of the pastor's wife, can't get a hold of her. So both the pastor's wife and the sister, right, the daughter, sister of the defendant, daughter of the man who owns the home, they show up. Door's locked in front, so make her way around back, find a key, right, that's sitting under the mat. She makes her way in, proceeds to go upstairs, finds the pastor dead, blood, finds her brother kind of in a fetal position praying. So bad, she just backs out the situation, goes down. Her and the pastor's wife start, going back and forth about what they should do. They end up calling, obviously the police. Police show up, and they take over an investigation at that point, right? So that's just kind of a lead up to what happened. Now, prosecution's basically claiming that he had some type of conflict or argument with the pastor and shot him, which honestly, hearing some of the backstory from some of the witnesses as far as like his character, what he was going through, the fact that his sister was encouraging him to go to the church, but yet some of the people at the church had weird vibes and noticed some weird stuff about him, being withdrawn, this, that, and the third. And I guess he had made a couple comments that made some of them, feel a little uneasy to the fact that they went and told the lead, pastor of the church, hey, we don't feel comfortable with this gentleman, like something needs to be addressed. So then that lead pastor tells the victim, who is another pastor at the church, who is involved basically with running the security, hey, this is our concerns. Can you talk to him? So we're assuming that when these concerns were relayed to the defendant, that's probably what started the the altercation, causing the defendant to shoot the victim. Now, it makes sense. It honestly makes sense with everything that I heard in the trial, as far as like the defendant seemed like he was struggling. His body language, his facial language expressions, just the whole nine. It all kind of adds up. It makes sense, right? So, in my opinion, I do believe he committed this murder. I do. Why he did it, I don't know. I don't know. It's probably a combination of mental health issues, his age, some of the mental health issues that pop up at that age, like schizophrenia, stuff like that. Could have definitely, it could all combine with religious thoughts, extreme religious thoughts. And I'm not bashing religion, but let me tell you, I think we've learned a little something about the, mental health combined with extreme religious thoughts with the Vallow Daybell trial, right? I think that's pretty much kind of caught a lot of us up to speed what can happen when you have a mentally ill person in any type of setting. But when they get into a religious setting, if they're not in a strong base or have people around them and they're getting help, dude, they can start believing some weird stuff. So that's kind of how I feel like we came to this point when this trial in this case is that, he was struggling. He might have had, a couple more screws loose up there than people realized. And then he was being, I don't want to say indoctrinated, but taught like these ways of the church. And, could have just basically had a lot of conflict. And then boom, this happens. He's addressed with these issues by, the pastor. Conflict happens, and then he ends up shooting the pastor. So that's kind of how I feel like it rolled out. But here's the thing. Here's the thing with the defense, though, right? This is where things get iffy, because it seems like it should be shut and closed, right? We have the victim there, we have the defendant there, we have the gun there, and this, that, and the third. But defense has done an amazing job of basically bringing up all the law enforcement involved, right? We're talking from, the officers that showed up originally to the investigators to the whole nine, right? They've done a good job of showing that the department was fully capable of doing a proper, intensive investigation on this, just to clear all the steps to make sure that they have, the defendant dead to rights. That it's him, he did it, here's this evidence, this evidence, this evidence, and this evidence that goes beyond it being, possibly his firearm used, and possibly him that did it, right? So, what I mean by that is they didn't do proper fingerprinting. They didn't do proper, like inspecting of the house. There's a lot of things that didn't get done properly. And then on top of that, we have the ballistics, right? They're not coming back as conclusively matching to the gun. So it's the right caliber, you know what I'm saying? And all that, but there's no dead-on forensic fingerprints as far as injector marks, this, that, rifling. There was nothing conclusive matching everything. So it's like defense has done an amazing job of taking all the things that were done wrong in the investigation, bringing them to light and showing look, not only was this done wrong, there was no reason for it to be done wrong because they had the capabilities to do the investigation full through, and they didn't. So, come Monday, defendant has to decide whether or not he wants to take this stand. I'm not really sure. I couldn't tell by his facial expressions because he's just kind of, I don't know, he's just dead in the eyes, bro. Honestly. So I couldn't really tell if he's going to take stand or not. So we'll see come Monday if he does. We'll see what he has to say. But in my opinion, in my strong opinion, I believe he's guilty. I believe he did it. But at the same time, I don't know if the jury's going to convict him because of the fact that the evidence, man, and then the investigation, it just wasn't done properly. And like I said, the defense has done a great job of laying that foundation and showing where, the investigation went wrong. And I'm sure that in closing arguments, they're going to probably dismantle the prosecution, pretty proper. And all the prosecution has is just, what they brought up, which ain't much. It literally is not much, So we'll see how it goes. I'm interested to see this get wrapped up on Monday and get this deliberation going, because I really want to see which way this case goes, because I literally couldn't tell you. Like I said, I believe he did it. Sounds like he did it. It sounded like there was reasons why it happened. Not good reasons, obviously. But that being said, I want to know what that jury's going to say. It's 50-50 at this point with me. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up, guys. I just wanted to give you the recap, because I know you're probably like, hey, man, he uploaded the first day. Where's the rest of the videos? What's going on? I've been watching it. I wasn't lacking, I promise. I just didn't want to bore you guys with this trial is so boring. Absolutely boring and horrible audio. It just, you know what I mean? Well, I ain't going to do that to you guys. So, that being said, I'm going to wrap it up. I hope you guys are having an amazing Friday. I know I am. And, yeah, until next video, it's your boy, the Piscine Predator. And I'm out, y'all. Much love. Peace.